We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello everyone, welcome back to online lecture series of refrigeration and air conditioning. Today we are beginning our new topic, which is compound compression. So let's begin. So our first topic is flash chamber. First we will define what is flash. Flash is defined as partial evaporation of liquid refrigerant which occurs when it passes through the expansion valve. So here first we will understand that what is this flash is. So if you recall, our basic simple compression system has expansion, then we have evaporation, then we have compression, and then the last one is condenser. And the direction of the flow is from here it is in the anti-clockwise direction. So what does mean by flash? That here it is the partial evaporation of liquid refrigerant which occurs when it passes through the expansion device. So here if you see, from the expansion device it has to be in the liquid form, then and then it can evaporate here. However, during this expansion process some vapor will be generated which is not useful because it has already been converted into vapor, so evaporation cannot take place. So this is called as a flash. So here this formed vapor does not take part in the refrigeration effect. So the refrigerant which is leaving this expansion device contains some fraction of saturated vapor which is incapable of producing any refrigeration effect. So this saturated vapor can be bypassed the evaporator and supplied directly to the compressor. So here if we see, in this case, suppose what we can do here is, rather than following the usual route, we can bypass some of the saturated some portion which is actually saturated vapor. So what is going to happen here, that in this case here only vapor will go. Okay, so this is the route for vapor, and here towards the evaporation we will only have liquid. So I hope you are getting this figure, that here during the expansion process some vapor is generated which is not going to take part in refrigeration. So what we can do, that at the expansion device we can separate this saturated vapor and liquid. So liquid will go into evaporator, which is actually doing our work, that is actually doing our task, and vapor which is not doing any kind of task can be directly taken into the compressor. So that will be the task of flush chamber. So here this goal is achieved with the help of flush chamber. The flush chamber is an insulated tank in which no heat interaction with the surrounding. The flush chamber separates the vapor from the liquid refrigerant and allows only a liquid refrigerant to pass through the evaporator. So here this is going to be the arrangement of flush chamber. So if you see, okay, if you see here, then if you focus on this part which is expansion device, before expansion device we are having pure liquid, and after expansion we are having liquid plus vapor. So this vapor is not going to take part in the evaporation process. So what we are doing here, that we are only allowing liquid to pass through this evaporator, and the vapor is taken directly into this route, that is compressor, towards the compressor. Okay, so if you see, M2 is the total mass, M1 is the allowed portion, that is liquid which is passing through the evaporator, and this M2 minus M1 portion is not allowed to pass through the evaporator, which is directly going into the compressor. Okay, so we will understand this with a pH chart. So we will copy this. So now we can erase this portion. So this is our arrangement, and now we will draw corresponding pH chart for this. So let's begin. So here, as you are aware, this will be our pressure, and here we will have enthalpy. And now we will draw first the saturated liquid line. And if you as usual we will use red color for saturation lines. This is saturated liquid line, and now we will draw the saturated vapor line, that will be this. Okay, now here this was H. Now we will start in this figure. We will start, let us say, with point number 1. We will begin from point number 1. So as you can see that from point number 1 to point number 2 compression is happening, and we will assume that point number 1 is purely a saturated vapor, and we will return to that point at the end of this theory. So let's begin from here. So this will be the compression part, okay, and then this will be our point number 1, and this end will be point number 2, okay. And this will be our direction. Now from 2 to 3 condensation is happening, so we can also draw a process on that this will be the process of condensation, and this will be our point number 3. And this will be the arrow for that. Now from point number 3 to point number 4 expansion is happening, so here we can draw expansion as a constant enthalpy process, and as you can see we are reaching towards point number 4. So this will be our point number 4. Okay, and this is the direction. Okay, now the important part is coming here, that from point number 4 we are only allowing M1 part to go through this evaporator. So a division is happening here. So what is going to happen here, that some portion is being evaporated. So the separation which is happening here is from 4 we are going to 5. That is, this will be our point number. This will be our point number 5. Okay, and here now at point number 5 only M1 mass is there, which is purely in the liquid state. So you can see here that here we are going from 4 to 5, that is converting purely into liquid phase, and now we can go into our usual 5 to 1 process, which is evaporation process, and which is important process for our theory, that is this part. And now we can show the direction also, that this is 5 to 1 is our main process. Okay, so this is the way the pH chart looks like. Now we will go back into our theory. Yes, of course we can copy this figure now. And So this is the complete arrangement as well as the pH diagram. Okay. So now M2 is the M2 kg of refrigerant circulating through the condenser, that is the total mass, out of which M1 kg circulates through the evaporator, and hence M2 minus M1 kg of vapor directly flows from the flash chamber to the compressor suction. Now energy balance at flash chamber. So it is given by this formula, and we will try to understand this in our figure. So let's copy this. Here if you see, the energy balance at flash chamber is given by this formula. If you focus here, M2 is the mass at the entry of the flash chamber, that is here left hand side, into enthalpy will be of 0.4, that is currently we are at this point, M2 into H4. Now the two things which are exiting out of this flash chamber, first is, let us take this vapor, so it is at M2 minus M1. It is M2 minus M1, and as this is already a saturated vapor, it is given at a point number 1, that is H1. M2 minus M1 is already saturated, that's why we are taking this enthalpy point H1, and plus the remaining portion of liquid, that is M1 into H5. So this is going to be our energy balance. And we can also take the remaining formulas for further explanation. So I suggest you to pay attention to these formulas, that here this is the formula we have arrived. See, here I suggest you to do some of the mathematical calculations by yourself, okay, and I hope it is quite easy to understand and do it by yourself. Okay, so here M2 into H1 minus H4 is equal to M1 H1 minus H5, which is already derived from this formula. Okay, and here now M1 is equal to M2 into this ratio, and M1 is what? If you see in this figure, M1 is what? Mass of refrigerant that is actually circulating through the evaporator, and M1 upon M2, see, M2 is total, M2 is total, and M1 is the mass of liquid refrigerant which is passing. So this ratio gives us the fraction of refrigerant mass which circulates through the evaporator. So this is the total mass which is going through the evaporator, and this is the fraction of total mass. And then mass of vapor separated in the flash chamber is given by M2 minus M1, and that is also justified from this figure, this, okay. And then it is given by this, and refrigerant capacity is M1 into H1 minus H5. Why this is like this? Because refrigerant capacity is given through this device, that is evaporator. So it is M1, or you can also see here M1 into H1 minus H4. H1 minus H5, sorry, M1 into H1 minus H5 is the total refrigeration capacity. Okay, and you can also obtain this through the ratio which we have previously arrived. Okay, then so this is the end of this theory. And if you see what is the benefit, what is the benefit of having flash chamber here, is that you are actually reducing the mass which is passing through the evaporator. So you are reducing the burden of evaporator, so there will be a reduction of size. That is the main advantage of having a flash chamber. Okay, otherwise thermodynamically it will be same as our simple cycle. Now we will move forward to our next theory, which is compound vapor compression with flash chamber and intercoolers. Our first theory in this will be two-stage compression system with flash intercooler. So this will be the arrangement here of two-stage compression system with flash intercooler. So if you see here, the difference is now we are using two compressors and we are using two expansion devices, and here in between we are having flash chamber. Okay, so if you see here, out of total M2 is the total mass, out of which we are taking M2 minus M1 mass, which is expanded first and then it is going into the flash chamber. Out of this, so this is the way it is working, and the remaining M1 portion is going into expansion and it is going into usual cycle. So M1 mass is first going into the first stage compression and then it is returning into flash chamber. So this M2 minus M1 is meeting with this M1, so now the total mass is going into the secondary compression stage, and then the same cycle repeats. So first what we are going to do is we will draw a pH diagram for this arrangement. So we will first copy this. Okay, we will keep it here, and first of all we will discuss about the energy balance at flash chamber. So let me draw first the flash chamber. Okay, so here if you see in this case, we need to see this figure. So from here M2 minus M1 is coming. So this M2 minus M1 is coming from here, and that is from the condenser. So this will be m2 minus m1. So we can put it over here. This will be m2 minus m1. Okay, and one more thing, that its condition will be 6, or we can also write down in terms of total energy. So m2 minus m1 is the mass and the condition is H6. So this will be our first entry from here. And then if we focus, so this is coming from the condenser. Now the second will be coming from the first compressor. So we can draw that. And if you see, the energy contained by this is m1 into h2. So we can write down the energy content here, that is here we are having m1 into h2, that is the energy balance available here. And one more thing which is exiting here is this portion. So here we will have this as the exit of flash chamber. This is the exit point. So the energy content available here will be, if you see, it should be m2h3. So this will be our energy balance at the flash chamber. Now we are ready to draw our pH diagram. So let's begin. This will be our pressure line. Then we will have enthalpy line, that is horizontal. And we can also write down their names, name of the axis. This will be our P, and this will be our H. Now we will draw, first we will draw the saturation lines. This will be saturation liquid line, and then we will have saturation vapor line, like this. Okay, and now we will begin with one point. So let us say that currently we are at point number 1, that is this stage, point number 1. So let's draw. Let us say point number 1 is situated here. And as from 1 to 2 we are observing the expansion process. So, and one thing you need to remember, that here from 1 to 2 only m1 mass is there. Okay, so let us denote this as point number 1 and the end of the first stage of compression, it will be point number 2. Now what is happening now at the point number 2, it is returning into the flash chamber. So here what is happening, that M1, if you see, M1 mass is meeting with M2 minus M1, so ultimately it is becoming M2. And here we will observe the cooling which is happening between these two compressors. So here some form of intercooler, this is working as an intercooler. So we will observe reduction in enthalpy at this flash chamber and increase in mass, as this M1 is meeting with M2 minus M1 and it is becoming as M2. So here we will observe a horizontal line like this. Okay, and this will be our point number 3. This will be our point number This will be our point number 3. Okay. One more thing which you need to take care here is, on this curved line, this inclined line here, M1 is acting. Okay, and now as it is ready to get into the secondary compressor, now the mass has changed, that will be M2. So let's draw it. So it will be like this, and this is the end of the secondary compression process, and we can draw this as point number 4. And now from point number 4, if you see this figure, then we are going into the condenser. So let's very quickly draw the condensation part. That will be from here to here, and this will be our point number 5. Now you need to pay attention here, as we are now reaching towards expansion and flash intercooler in this figure. So if you see, here from 5, some portion of this mass, that is M2 mass. Okay, one more thing I wish to point out here, that this mass will be M2. Okay, and the next thing is, this is also our M2. However, here if you see, we are only allowing some portion to go into first expansion, that is M2 minus M1. So let's say that from 5 to 6, so this is the first expansion which is happening from 5 to 6. So this will be point number, this will be our point number 6. Okay, and now from 6, as I was telling you that this M1, if you recall, this M1 is meeting M2 minus M1. This M1 mass is meeting M2 minus M1. So yellow is meeting with green point. That's why this is the M2 minus M1 portion. This 5 to 6 is M2 minus M1. Okay, let me clarify this. So this is M2 minus M1. That is this portion, and the same as it is in the flash chamber, it is getting converted into vapor. That is not useful. So now we can draw this. So ultimately it is meeting here. Okay, now we are going into the remaining part, which is 5 to 7. So let me draw 5 to 7. So it is happening in this way. So this will be our point number 7. Okay, and as usual 7 to 1 is our evaporation process, so we can easily draw that. So this is the way it is happening, and only you need to take care about this mass. So we need to write down here that this is only m1 mass, and here this is m2 minus m1 mass. Okay, and here also one more thing is, this is m1 mass. Okay, so now we are done with this figure, and we can also show the directions here. So now we are ready with this figure, and we can copy this. So this is the arrangement as well as the pH diagram. Now we will quickly go through the formulas for this. So to explain this part, we will copy these formulas in our figure. So here, if you see, this will be our energy balance, that is M2 minus M1 into H6, that is this green, plus M1 into H2, that is this yellow, is equal to M2 into H3. Based on this, you can obtain this M2 into H5 minus H3 is equal to M1 into H5 minus H2. You need to take care here that while I have directly written for some formulas, and at some locations I have replaced, see, if instead of H6 I have directly written as H5, because this entire line indicates the same enthalpy. So you can write down H5 is equal to H6 is equal to H7 at any moment in our derivation. So you will get this, and based on this M1 upon M2 will be this, which is fraction of refrigerant mass circulates through the evaporator, and mass of liquid refrigerant evaporated in the flash intercooler will be this. Okay, I hope that this is very easy portion, and I hope that you will be doing this by yourself. Okay, so I will not be spending more time in explaining you about this mathematics. It is quite easy to understand. So now refrigeration capacity is M1 into H1 minus H5. So if you see, these formulas are also easy to understand. Still I will explain you for this theory. I hope that fonts are visible to everyone. So refrigeration capacity is what? The part of evaporator, that is M1 is passing through here, and the enthalpy difference is H1 minus H7, so it is written over here. And let us say that Q tons of refrigeration is the load on the evaporator, then the mass of refrigerant passing through the evaporator is given by M1 is equal to capacity divided by H1 minus H7, that is the enthalpy difference through the evaporator. And instead of capacity we can write down 3.5 Q, and the denominator is as it is. Now if you see, this will be in kg per second, and the power required to drive the system. Now we are having two compressors, and one compressor is having M1 into H2 minus H1, that is this part, M1 into H2 minus H1 plus M2 into H4 minus H3, and COP is given by capacity upon power. So capacity, that is refrigeration capacity, is the same thing here, and power is here, so we have obtained this. So now you can see this very clearly. Okay, so now we are done with this. Now we are into our next theory, which is the second case, that is two-stage compression with flash gas removal, and this will be our figure. So here, if you recall our previous, in our previous theory we were having division here, that only some mass was passed here and second mass was passing here somewhere. Instead of that, here we are not separating it. Here we are directly taking it into the flash chamber. Here expansion is happening twice and compression is happening twice. Okay, so first of all we will try to understand this figure with our pH diagram. So let me first copy this in our board. So this will be our third theory for today. Let me copy this, as this is also going to be useful to us. So first of all we will see the balance of energy in our flash chamber. So here we are having M2 mass, which is at condition 7. So this will be as you can see in this figure, this condition will be M1H7. Okay, then what we are having else, the remaining, if you see here, this is M1, which is liquid state, condition 8. So we can draw that. So here this will be the liquid which is passing, and here we will have M this will be our M1H8. See, this is very important portion of our derivation, so better you understand this with detail. Okay, then here we are having M2 minus M1 vapor at condition number 3. So now this will be M this will be our M2 minus M1, and you can see the condition here is point number 3, so it is H3. Now if you see here, then from this first compressor M1 mass is coming at condition number 2. So here also we can draw this. And as you know, the condition is M the condition here is M1, and it should be H2. Yes, it should be H2. Then at the exit, this will be the exit condition. As you can see, it should be M2 into H4. So this will be M M2 H4. So this will be the energy balance at flash chamber. Now we are ready to draw the pH diagram. So let me utilize this. So here I will be erasing few things. So this will no longer be point number 3, 4. This will also change. This will not be present. Okay, one thing I will do, let me copy this. So now we are in position to see all three figures together. So now if we see from 1 to 2 is as usual our M1 mass, which is 1 to 2 is M1 mass which is passing through the compressor. From 2 to here you need to take care, because this M2 minus M1 is meeting this M2 minus M1 mass is meeting M1H2 and it is getting converted into M2H4. So one thing which is very important here and you need to take care of is this is the condition of M2 minus M1, which is purely saturated vapor. So if you focus here, then this point is going to be our point where we can observe this point number 3. So this will be our point number 3. That is this. Okay, and if you see carefully, point number 2 and point number 3 are meeting and it is converted into point number 4 or condition number 4. So 2 is going from right to left, 3 is coming from left to right. So the final condition that we will observe will be point number 4. I suggest you to pay your attention here because this might confuse you. So here again I need to erase this portion, that this is no longer our secondary compression process. Okay, and this will be our final condition. So this will be our point number 4. Okay, and from 4 then the secondary compression is happening. Okay, so let me draw that secondary compression happening from here to here, and this will be obviously yellow, and the direction is also drawn. So this has to be our wait. There is a huge difference between slope of two compression processes, so I need to change them. So now it is okay. And this will be our point number, and it should be 5. Okay, so this is the way it is happening. Then from 5 we are having point number 6. This will be our point number 6. Then from 6 to 7 expansion is happening, and it is of full mass, that is M2. then we are observing the separation, that is M2 minus M1 is going into the flash intercooler and the remaining mass is going into the secondary expansion device. So here also okay, my sincere apologies for this interruption as the cell was dead in my mouse. So now we were at here M2. Now as the remaining mass is being intercooled, so we can go from here to here, and we are now reaching up to point number 7. It is already there in the front above this figure. So this is our point number 7. Then so this is okay, here the final point is 8. So this has to be point number 7, then this will be point number 8, then from 8 to 9 expansion is happening. So this will be our point number 9, and from 9 we are continuing here. Okay, so this is the end of our pH diagram. So I hope that you have understood this figure very well, and now we can copy this. And it will be situated here. So this is the complete arrangement and the pH diagram and the energy balance figure. Now we will understand about the mathematical formulas for this, and again we will copy them. So if you see that let the M2, this is already known to you people. Now we will directly go to the enthalpy energy balance here. So as you can see here, M2 into H7, I think here I have made mistake. This has to be M2. So here this will be M it will be M2H7. Now it is correct. So as you can see, M2 into H7 is equal to M2 minus M1 into H3, that is this green is equal to this red plus this blue. Okay, now the remaining things are very easy to understand, that M2 minus M1 is equal to M1 into H6 minus H8 divided by H3 minus H8 is equal to mass of liquid refrigerant evaporated in the flash cooler. And I also suggest you that this is quite easy thing and you can do it by yourself. Okay, and energy balance at point number 4. So now we are at this point. Okay, so here M2 into H4 is equal to M1 into H2 plus this M2 minus M1 into H3. To understand this formula, if you see this figure at this location, you will very easily understand this. Okay, now these formulas can also be easily understood by yourself, and they are very similar to our previous theories. Now I think we should end this lecture here only, and we will continue with our third case, that is two-stage compression system with flash chamber and liquid subcooler, in our next lecture. Okay, so we will quickly go through the revision that we have done. So we begin with the definition of flash chamber. We took a very easy case. We also drew the pH diagram for that, and we derived the various equations based on that theory. Now this is the first case in multi-stage compression, that is two-stage compression with flash intercooler, and we try to understand the energy balance of flash chamber and pH diagram. Then the same way we arrive to similar kind of equations. Then we studied about second case, which is with flash gas removal. That is the recently we have finished this portion. And these are mathematical formulas based on that theory. And we will continue with this in our next lecture. So I hope that you have enjoyed this session and you have understood majority of the parts of this chapter. Okay, if you have any queries, you can put it in comments, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.